Recently, Coca-Cola released its annual Holidays Are Comin' ad, only this time it was completely AI generated, which was very helpful in proving once again that AI is not coming for the movies anytime soon. Just last week, I did a video on AI not coming for Hollywood because it's not. Because AI simply can't handle the kind of language and grammar of cinema necessary to make a movie by itself. We can certainly use AI tools in making movies, yes, but AI by itself just creating a movie by you throwing in some prompts is a long way off. A really long way off. Now, there were some people who thought, oh no, the technology is growing by leaps and bounds. You're underestimating it. And I'm sorry, I'm really not trying to be that guy who ends up coming off as condescending, but the people saying that really just don't understand what a movie is and how a movie gets made. We're not talking about photographically realistic images. We're talking about language and grammar of cinematic technique in telling a story. Nothing that AI has produced since it came into the mainstream has shown it understands any of that. And nothing could be better at demonstrating this than having a corporation like Coca-Cola put out an annual holiday ad completely made by AI. Why is it important that it was Coca-Cola? Here's why. Because Coca-Cola is one of the top 10 largest consumer brands on the planet Earth. It has billions of dollars at its disposal. It has more money at its disposal easily than Hollywood or any individual studio in Hollywood or any individual production company, certainly and definitely more than any individual filmmaker. And yet, with all of that money, it still couldn't string together 15 seconds of AI-generated video that didn't look like complete, utter garbage. The reason it couldn't is because there's nothing there to build something good from yet. Nothing that AI has done has gotten us to the point yet where we can produce anything truly good cinematically. I'm going to let Knowledge Husk take over for a few seconds here while you watch a clip of his that he did just a couple of weeks ago, right around the same time I was doing mine on AI. Here it is.
Like, remember in February 2024 when OpenAI showed off Sora? That amazing text-to-video generator that you could just type in whatever you want and it's gonna make a short movie about it. That stuff was wacky. What happened to it? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Don't think about it. A lot of the demos from the past, few years are starting to look a little bit sketchy, right? I mean, all this stuff that these companies showed off, all these amazing tech demos were created in ideal circumstances with minimal variables to mess up, and it all gave the impression that the technology was way more advanced than it seems like it actually was.
And that's what I'm talking about. Minimal variables. When I was talking about it last week, I was showing scenes from movies and talking about how the grammar of film requires medium shots, and long shots, and close-ups. It requires over the shoulder and reverse over the shoulder and two shots. There's a lot going on to tell a simple story. Now, what video AI has been able to produce so far is basically akin to a static shot. Now, it may not be completely static in that it is moving. We'll see the car moving, or we'll see the lady moving, or in this Coca-Cola ad, we'll see people moving, sort of. But there's no variation in those shots. We're not seeing those two girls smiling. Oh my God, they're so happy. Guys, it's Coke. They're so happy, but they're not they're not doing anything. We're not getting a second shot of them from behind. We're not getting a second shot from the side. We're not getting any reverse shots. We're not getting anything. We're just seeing them smiling. Because even Coca-Cola, with all of its money, can't reproduce those two girls in a slightly different perspective because AI doesn't really know how to do it. If you go back to the very start, when AI was producing imagery that was suspect at best, and lead up to now where AI is producing photographic realistic imagery, it still just means, as far as the language of producing a coherent cinematic experience goes, that they've moved from the magic lantern to the kinetoscope. That's about it. We got a long way to go before we hit 2001: A Space Odyssey. A really long way to go. And of course, as you might expect, there are plenty of people seeing the Coca-Cola commercial who are either very angry with Coca-Cola for doing it, or very flippant towards artists for getting angry about it. Like, oh, this is the future, bro. Get used to it. Which, it isn't really the future. At all. Because at a certain point, with all the copyrighted data sets suddenly being restricted, it's all just going to start learning from itself, and the results, the finished products, are probably, in the near future, going to get slightly worse before they get any better. So for me, it was kind of a win-win. I was happy to see the commercial because I was happy to see that all the money available in the world still couldn't make a coherent 15-second movie. And people are actually still believing things like, oh, you're underestimating this technology. Oh, it's going to replace Hollywood. Guys, not any time soon. Please, we're not talking about photographic realism. We're talking about cinematic grammar and cinematic language and how you put a movie together. And that is completely foreign to AI. It is absolutely unknown to AI. It doesn't get it. It doesn't understand it. And it hasn't even begun its training on it yet. It's still mired down in just taking in photographic data sets and working with those. It really hasn't moved beyond that. And to move beyond that will take leaps and bounds that we just aren't seeing yet. That's really all I've got for this one. Basically just an addendum to my last video. So thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and drive safely.